Afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, October 9th. Beautiful day here in Missouri. Maybe still a little too warm, but a beautiful day. Thought I'd take a few minutes and give you an update. We had enough rain. I had just over 2 inches the other day, 4 days ago, of rain. Really didn't have any good rain for 6 weeks, but I wanted to show you what rain can do. This is a 40-gallon tub I buried up here a couple weeks ago, and we had enough rain that eroded, washed all the dirt off around it. And I came up here today and did a little work on it. So I just thought if it helps in any way, I'm for it. So a squirrel, that's what, oh, by the way, that's why the log's in there. So if anything small falls in it, they can crawl out. But, any excuse, if it gives a deer a few extra more minutes, spending time on my ground, I'm for it. And there's 40 gallons of clean, beautiful water. I'm telling you, it was so dry here. Everything was dry. My creeks, everything. But I wanted to show you this. This is what 2 inches of rain can do. My clover's looking good. More importantly, all the seed, I reseeded all these bare spots up here August 17th. They're all germinated. All of them. I walked it today. I'm going to stay out of it, but they're all germinated. Clover is Whitetail Institute, Imperial Clover, by the way. Good stuff. This is getting hammered by the deer. The little white stakes, it's for a sprinkler, because I was irrigating for a couple weeks. And then I just gave up. I quit. I thought, what a waste of water. But then the Lord sent me some rain, and more coming tomorrow. Tuesday, tomorrow. Good storms coming. So I'm happy. You see all my apples? See how well they're doing? Very pleased. Really what I was doing today, I had to work, but I got home. I'm laying out a new orchard. More. I'm going to do more. Matter of fact, my AU chestnuts are coming. Auburn University developed these trees, and they'll drop. There's AU bucks, 2, 3, and 4. 2s are the early droppers, and the 4s will drop into December. You believe that? Chestnuts. It's going to be awesome. Well, anyway, they are coming. I set it up to deliver. Well, I think after the 13th of November, gun season. I'm a bow hunter, so I don't hunt with a gun. So I thought, what a good time of year. I'll plant these trees and get my chestnuts planted. And I was up here laying out more orchard. These are all apples, with the exception of a couple Japanese persimmons. So I want the apples for me and the deer. But these trees have just exceeded expectations. All these plants came from, there's a bare spot that's germinated. What I think the seed washed off those. Well, anyway, I reseeded, and we'll see. If it's not right, if it's not full coverage, next spring I'm going to do it right. Next year I'll get on this early, spray and reseed, and then spray for broadleafs and grasses. But these trees, they all came from the wildlife group down in Alabama. I could not be happier. Look at that. You know what that was? A stick with bare root, you know, rootstock. A stick with roots. And they've all grown out of the tubes, most of them. Those are 5-foot tubes. You have to have tubes, everybody. Spend the money. Plantex, I think they're called, brand. Well, they're grow tubes. It's like a miniature greenhouse for these trees. Retains moisture. The stake is more important than the tube. And of course, you can't see them from here, but the weed mats. The weeds are the worst thing possible for competing with a young tree. They're all doing well. I expect to have apples here. Maybe a few next year, but 2 years from now for sure. And then 5 years from now. Oh, apologize, I'm getting a weed. But look at this clover. Look at that. Very pleased. See, that's a stump. It's hard to kill, and I'll do better. I will do better next year. Any of these stumps come back, you know, they're throwing off suckers. Damn it. And you know, tell you, walnuts. Walnuts are the worst. They're the hardest to kill. I sprayed these things, but next year, anything that's alive, I'm going to drill it. I'm going to drill that stump and pour the chemical. I'll get them killed. But the most important thing you can do about a plot for weeds is get them early. Get up here and spray them early. And I got behind last year. My fault. But Slay and Arrest Max from Whitetail Institute. They definitely do the job, but you have to read the instructions. Don't do like I do. You got to get on them when they're young. These weeds and grass will kill them dead, but you just got to get on it. Could not be more pleased up here. This is really going to be nice. Really nice here 5-6 years from now. I have more apples I know what to do with. But I planted Gibson Golden, an early drop apple, early relative, you know, into August, September. Then Yates apples, and they're mid-drop, Octoberish, early November, and then the big one, Arkansas Blacks. They're a late dropping apple. And by the way, the best apple I've ever eaten, ever. And that's why I wanted them. This all started because I could not find Arkansas Black apples to buy. Well, I thought, you know, hell with it, I'm gonna grow my own. And then it turned into this. Always wanted a food plot, not just to kill deer. I want to give back. I've seen groundhogs in here, and a lot of deer, actually. Deer crushing my clover, which is a good problem to have. But next year I'm going to do so much better. I had never done this. I lime this. I soil test. Very important. Do your soil test. Soil test. And then I put a proper amount of lime. I think it was 600 pounds. Yeah, 600 pounds. This is 17,000, just shy of 17,000 square foot here. But 600 pounds of lime by hand in an earthway spreader. Worked perfectly, by the way. You know, a cedar. Worked perfect. That pelletized lime, it was very pleased. And then I think 100 pounds or 100, I can't remember. Sad. I did it in March. 150 pounds of 624-24 fertilizer. And then, of course, everybody thinks you don't need to fertilize clover. Guess what? You do. Next spring, I'm going to buy another 100 pounds at 624-24, and I'm going to fertilize this thing again. I understand. It's a legume. Clover's a legume. It fixes nitrogen in the soil, whatever. Fertilize it, everybody. You want, and I'm telling you, the results next year will prove me correct. Fertilize it. Yeah, but let's walk here. Look at this clover. So happy. Rain. What a miracle rain is. See that bare spot? I'll show you. I don't want to walk on this clover, but I'm going to. See that? See that? That is Whitetail Institute clover. These seeds laid up here, and then I'm telling you, there's tiny, tiny little clover buds coming. You can't see them. But this seed, I seeded this, I'm pretty sure it was August 17th, and then hot as hell. Dry. No rain. I mean, no rain. But Whitetail Institute, Imperial Clover. Look at this. It's all coming. It'll come back in. It'll fill this in. And if not, next spring I'm on it. I'll till it again, and I'll seed it again. But look at this. Just superb. I'm so pleased. Oh, here's a good one down here. This, I did water this down here. Irrigate. Look at that clover. This was bare dirt. I killed, oh, I should tell you that story. I came up here and I killed everything with crossbow was a chemical. By the way, crossbow is the greatest chemical I've ever seen in my life to kill brush, grass, anything. It'll kill it. Very pleased with that chemical. You mix it, you buy a gallon, and it's 50 bucks. Spend the money, but I can, and I mix it heavy. I think I put 4 ounces a gallon when I mix it. And I did the math. I think it's, I don't know, I can mix about 60 gallons chemical, and that's mixing it heavy. So needless to say, I have a half gallon left, and I sprayed today. Let me show you this. Look at that. Really happy. So yeah, this is a work in progress. You see all this? This is honeysuckle. You see that? Honeysuckle. It's a problem if it's not managed, but I'll tell you something. This place, my place, smelled wonderful. It's one of my favorite smells in the world. It's honeysuckle. In May and early June. But I came up here. This has been sprayed, and I'll walk around. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do this. Spin back around. This is all a brush pile. When I cleared this, my plot, I ran a chainsaw, cut what I could, cut it apart, drug it down here and threw it on this pile. I wanted to make a visual barrier for deer so they were safe, felt safe in here. But we're going to plan B. I apologize about the sun. But you see, I rode everything, lined it up 25 feet apart. And I did it all by eye. Turned out pretty square, actually. I should have ran a string line, but that's not too damn bad for doing it by eye. In a snowstorm in March, by the way. Yeah, well, here we go. Run up the hill, you know. This row, for example. at the top. Gibson Golden apple, but a drop date. Early, mid, late, and right here. This is another Gibson Golden. Look at that tree. Awesome. So back to early. Let's do it again. Apologize, everybody. Early, mid, late, early. That's what I'm going to do. Order these trees to hit, and I'm just going to continue the rows going down the hill. There's plenty of room here for, well, space on 20 feet plus. Here's room for 15, 20 more apple trees, in addition to my chestnuts. But I've sprayed everything. All right, bear with me. Let's walk over here. I want to show you this. This is all brush that I thought I was going to let grow up, but no, I'm going to come up and brush hog and continue my apples. But I want to show you, oh, bear with me. I want to show you what a good chemical can do. On my chestnuts, yeah, like I said, they're coming the second week of November. Let's show you this. That's all persimmons right here. Big persimmon right there. And either they're immature trees or all male. I don't have any persimmons, but I left them. I left them because I want persimmons. If it helps, if it gives back to wildlife, not just deer, but anything, it gets to stay. Black locust, honey locust for that matter, they all get to stay. Well, let's walk up here. This is just what I did the other day to run my hoses so I can get water up here when it was so damn dry and hot. But I'll bush hog this and trim it and then mow eventually. This is staying. I think you all should know why. This cedar, because eventually one day there will be a ladder stand tucked up in this cedar. Cedars are deadly. I've killed more deer out of cedar trees than anything. But I purposely, if a cedar tree will work for me, I set a stand in it. I wanted to show you this. I came up a week ago and sprayed this honeysuckle. You see that? Dead as it gets. So there's plenty of room. What I was thinking, chestnuts, this is looking east. And I got a lot of brush to move, and I sprayed this again today, especially everything I missed. More honeysuckle, it'll die off. But I'm thinking this side will be chestnuts. Excuse me, including probably some Dunstan. I'm going to order some Dunstan chestnut trees. So this side will all be chestnuts. Apologize for making you dizzy. You see my apples. And I'm going to continue the apple orchard down this hill. There's plenty of room here in this brush. So I'm going to have quite the setup. Eventually, I'm pleased. So we're going to make, of course for the deer, but we're going to make, I have an apple butter kettle, copper kettle. We're going to make apple butter with my kids the way I did when I was a kid in the 70s. And cider, juice, all of it. Maybe sell some apples, who knows? Same thing with these chestnuts. Time's coming, there's going to be too many damn chestnuts, which is what a good problem. What a good opportunity to have. So I'll sell some chestnuts. It's profitable, and the trees are going to be here, so why not, especially when I get old. But, definitely going to be a ladder stand tucked up in here. Chestnuts, as of right now, 15 or more. There's room for them, plenty of room actually, for chestnuts. So you want to do about 30 feet apart and stagger the rows, because so they can wind pollinate and or insect pollinate, but no farther than 30 feet and no closer. 20 is probably too close. So 30 feet's a good number, 25 to 30 feet. And the chestnuts, 3 to 5 years. I'll have nuts. And also, chestnuts, it's a misnomer. Think of, picture a chestnut as essentially a brown rice that grows on trees. It's a great source of carbohydrates, great source of protein, and very little fat. So eventually we're going to eat chestnuts, and there's not a better deer food on earth. Deer evolved eating chestnuts that were all killed off by the blight. 4 billions of those trees killed by that blight. It's the worst disaster, natural disaster, ecological disaster in history, probably. 4 billion trees. And the reason we don't know about it, because the last one died off, who knows, in the 40s? but it took 40 years to kill 4 billion of those trees, which touched just the far southern end of Missouri, I think down in the Boot Hill. There were American chestnuts. And there still are, by the way, American chestnut trees, but they can't mature and nut. That blight, they'll get, I don't know, 20 feet tall and 5-10 years old, and then that blight kills them. The blight mold lives in oaks, apparently, in the bark of oak trees. So, but all my trees, my chestnuts, they're all hybrid trees, crossed with Chinese and well, the Dunstan and American and Chinese, but they're good producers and blight resistant. And one blessing here, you see my setup, that's my Morton building. First thing I did when I bought this place was we plumbed over water and power. So we'll have a walk-in cooler in that building. If I don't, well, for sure I'm going to, but I was thinking today maybe I have to build this thing bigger. Anyway, but I have water and power. I can irrigate and water all these trees. So spend that kind of money to do it, and whatever it costs is fine. But spend that kind of money. You know, I don't have 1,000 acres and a combine, but I can do this kind of. I can raise an orchard. I can farm like this, and it gives back to wildlife. I'm happy. So, everybody, thank you all, and apologize if I rambled and made you dizzy. But eventually, there's going to be more orchard here, and I'll do some updates. Thank you.